What's good, faithful? How are we doing today? It's a good day. We're going to talk about San Francisco 49ers versus Panthers. We're going to preview it all right now. A game's not too far away. Let's get into it. Go Niners. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. What is going down, SDS? Oh boy, we are fresh off of interviewing the GOAT. Shout out to Patrick Willis for joining us for a quick stream before the game, getting some insight from a 49ers legend like Patrick Willis. Oh man, that was a lot of fun. So shout out P. Willie. Again for hopping on. If you missed it, you can rewatch the stream as well. It's going to be on the page, so you'll be able to catch it if you missed it. But San Francisco 49ers, they got a game to play today, ladies and gentlemen, and they will be facing off against Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers. Shout out to homie Locksmith. Appreciate you, my boy. Not as fire as those raps you be putting out, though, my guy. If I'm being honest, my boy straight dropping bars. But good to see all the squad in here. Kind of getting a little quick. Oh, look at this guy. This guy missed it. What a surprise. Come on, coach. And like I said, you already know. SDSP Willie. Yes, sir. You can catch the interview, the conversation that Patrick Willis and I had on the page. You already know the vibes. But let's talk 49ers versus Panthers. How are you guys feeling about this game? Jason missed it too. It's all good. You know where to find it. I'm feeling pretty good about this game. I really do think the San Francisco 49ers should win this game relatively, I want to say easy, but I always put myself in a position to pause a little bit because it's any given Sunday. You know what I mean? Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're on the road at Carolina. Trap games are a real thing when they are playing on the East Coast. Now, the 49ers have played pretty well on the East Coast the last couple years. So I don't think it's going to be anything to be worried about. But you also understand the narratives going into games, the locker room material. Everyone's counting out the Panthers. Does that give Panthers some extra juice, knowing they're going up against one of the better teams in the NFL? You never know. Because, when we talk about, let's use the Warriors, for example. When they went on their historic season where they broke the record for wins in a year, every single night that the Warriors stepped onto the court, it felt like a championship or not a championship, but a playoff caliber effort from the other team. Didn't matter if they were trash, didn't matter if they were out of it, just a bad team. Those bad teams would show up to play those Warriors teams that was on an epic run. So the same logic, I think, applies when you become the big bad wolf, when you become the team to knock off. Now, you look at the 49ers record 2-2. Oh, what's so crazy about that? They're 2-2. We look at the games that they lost. We know they should have won those games. They're better than their record indicates, but you will also say you are what your record says you are. So right now they're 2-2, but I do think we would all agree at this stage the 49ers are better than 2-2. At least their defense is. Their defense is a 4-0 caliber defense. And that is what, again, I think is going to shine today against the Panthers. The Panthers have good weapons on the offensive side. Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, Tommy Tremble at tight end does show promise as a young tight end, but he's still not, I don't think, going to get the job done. Baker Mayfield has ability, but does he show the ability? This offense, specifically for the Panthers, led by Matt Rule, is under heavy scrutiny. We could be looking at a situation. I don't know if it happens this game, but maybe a couple games from now, maybe Matt Rule is the first head coach to get fired. And the 49ers defense absolutely have an opportunity to make that a case. Now, we're not preying on anyone to be fired. That's never what it is. We're just speaking to the reality of the situation. And the reality is Matt Rule, the offensive guru that he is, has underperformed for the Panthers. And it just feels like it's getting to that point. And if the 49ers defense comes out and embarrasses the Panthers offense, who knows? Maybe Rule gets his walking papers. I don't know. I was thinking about this earlier, Coach. I was thinking about this earlier, man. They are going, Tepper, the owner, is going to be watching D'Amico like a hawk. Because when you look at the Panthers, they are actually set up. Now, they have two pretty significant injuries to both their safeties, but their defense is solid, led by Brian Burns up front. Shaq Thompson, Dante, you got JC Horn, Dante Jackson, Yader Gross-Matos, Derek Brown. Their defense is solid. It's good enough. I guarantee you they're going to be keeping all eyes on D'Amico Ryans for the potential head coaching job next year. But we're not worried about that right now. What we are worried about is if this team can get the W. I don't think there's any worries coming from the defensive side of the football for the 49ers, whether it's, Javon Kinlaw and Eric Armstead, who have officially been ruled out for this game. The 49ers still have tons of talent on the interior, whether it's Kevin Givens, you shift Charles Omenihu down inside, whether it's Kerry Hyder playing on the inside. The 49ers have an answer for Hassan Ridgeway. They have pieces. Akeem Spence, you're going to see probably Akeem Spence today. They have answers for the interior defensive line. So they'll figure it out. As Patrick Willis talked about earlier today with me, man, when you got a legit front seven, which the 49ers do, led by Nick Bosa, it allows the guys on the back end of the defense to play more freely. Again, P. Willie talked about those 2012 defenses where their front seven was lights out. You got Carlos Rogers getting a Pro Bowl out of that. You got guys like Whitner and Goldson getting all pro nods, playing behind a defense like that. Defensive front seven like that. So we get Jimmy Ward back today. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to see Jimmy Ward back out there. I imagine he'll be on a slight pitch count, but the fact that the enforcer's back to be paired with Tashawn Gibson and Talanoa Hufanga, it's going to be nice. Jason Verrett won't play today. No Jason Verrett. They're still easing him back. No rush there. So I imagine 49ers defense is going to do what they're going to do. This has been the I've talked to a lot of Panthers fans. I talked to a lot of Panthers pages on Instagram. There's not a lot of optimism from Panthers fans surrounding this game for the 49ers. Or excuse me, for Panthers fans. They understand the death is coming because, like we've talked about, Matt Rule will probably be the coach that gets fired mid-year, at least based on how it's going now. Again, they could turn things around with a win against the 49ers, but we do not want to be that team for this Panthers regime. So I imagine the defense shows up, balls out. Nick Bosa, multiple sacks. Samson Ebukam, multiple sacks, like it's gonna be another time opportunity for this 49ers defensive line to feast, and we get just the phenomenal play on the back end. So I don't, yeah, but they have weapons. DJ Moore, McCaffrey, they're capable of hurting you. Just got to play assignment sound, keep everything in front of you, and don't get beat deep. Don't get beat deep. When we look at the 49ers offense, we know what it is. They're still developing the scheme. They're still developing their identity. They're still trying to figure out who their starting offensive line is. You have Jalen Moore, who's going to be sliding in to left tackle, who is filling in for Colton McKivitz, who went on IR earlier this week. Trent Williams is out. We know that. You have Daniel Brunskill rotating at right guard with Spencer Burford. So there's still, even into week 5, there's a lot of shuffling going on up front with that offensive line. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this O-line continues to gel and develop together as a unit, because let's face it, the offensive line is a team within the team. Those 5 guys all need to be on the same page in order for things to work seamlessly. So there's still a lot of changes coming up front, and guess who's going to be on the opposite side of those changes? A guy that goes by the name Brian Burns. We know Brian Burns very well around this channel, as he is still one of my favorite players in the NFL. Brian Burns is going to be a problem, but how do you neutralize an extremely elite pass rusher in Brian Burns, who is so fast and has an entire bag of moves? How do you neutralize that? Well, look at the blueprint for the Rams game. You got a lot of quick passes, quick screens. You got runs up front that turn into play action. I imagine that's what it's going to look like. Do we get a Brandon Ayuk breakout game? I don't know. It is going to be very interesting to see if we actually get one. As you saw, Brandon Ayuk was open on a lot of different occasions against the Rams. So we'll see. We'll see if they dial it up and call Brandon Ayuk's number. But I do imagine that we're going to see a similar game plan to what we saw against the Rams. Now, the hope is this week is that they have better efficiency. They have better ability to keep drives alive, because in that second half, they kind of stalled again. What do we talk about when we talk about the San Francisco 49ers? We talk about them being a first and second half team. They seemingly play well in the first half. It's like, how do we get the offense to continue to take strides in the second half? How do we continue to keep the aggression? And, like, I don't know, feels like the 49ers have a tendency to get a little passive offensively in the second half. So we'll see if they're able to play full 60 minutes of football with their foot on the throttle today. That's what I would like to see. But you never know what you're going to get. You never know what you're going to get from the offensive side of the football, at least right now. Coach, appreciate the super chat, my boy. He says the easy part is what Carolina brings offensively versus our D. The true game will be told against that talented D. We got to play small ball, out quick, use Burns at the point of attack. Don't block him, use his leverage. Yeah, they're going to have to game against Brian Burns. They're going to have to slow him down. They're going to have to really show threat of run and then utilize play action off of that. They got to get him thinking that it's a run, because if you get the defensive line believing it could be a run, that changes and impacts how they get after the passer, especially in play action situations. So I agree with that. The 49ers, quick game, I agree. Horizontal game, I agree. Slants, tunnel screens, all that. I think we're going to see a lot of that. We're going to see a lot of running the football, I believe. Again, when the or the defense believes that you're going to run the football, and then you utilize play action off of that, offensive line is still able to execute run action up front, which is a benefit to them. And then the timing of the play is usually your first or second reads are open, so it's not a typically like ultra long developing play. So you kind of hold the pass rush, you get the play action when your run game's working, and you typically find your first or second read pretty quickly. So I imagine that's still going to be the game plan for the offense. Run the football, play action off of it, quick game in the passing attack. Don't let Brian Burns beat you. Don't let Brian Burns beat you, because if you give him one-on-ones, uh, third and longs with McGlinchey, with Jalen Moore, hell, it doesn't matter. If we were talking about Trent Williams out there, I would still be like, Trent Williams is going to have a tough task today with Brian Burns just because of his length and his speed. Those two things that he brings to the table are really elite. And you might be able to get Brian Burns 90% of the time, but there's a 10% variable where he can get you. And sometimes that 5% is where games are won. So that's going to be the biggest key for the offense. How do they neutralize the defensive line of the Panthers? How are they able to run the football and move the offense forward? But again, they do that. They do those things. I don't think it'll be much of an issue at all. The 49ers should come away with a win against the Panthers. I'm hoping to see the 49ers offense take a step further in the sense of efficiency, in the sense of execution. But again, offensive line is going to be something that we look at. So we'll see. I still think the offense is going to be a work in progress. A lot of the defense holding it down and giving the offense opportunities. It's George Kittle's birthday today. Feels like a great opportunity for George Kittle to get a 2-touchdown game. I don't know. What say you, Kyle? Come on, Kyle, dial it up for Kittle. I'm looking at Kyle right now. I love what George brings as a blocker. You guys already know that. But it's his birthday. Let's get him two tutties today, huh? Why not? Let the man live a little bit on his birthday. Get this man some touchdowns. It would help his brand immensely right now because he's getting killed. He's getting killed by non-49er fans, 49er fan. Get this man the ball. Come on, Kyle, you can do it. I believe in you. So get George the football. But I imagine we're going to see a lot of Jeff Wilson. We're going to see a lot of Deebo Samuel. We're going to hopefully see some Brandon Ayuk. I would love to see more Brandon Ayuk. I'd love to see more of the boys. And just get the ball into your playmakers' hands and let them get after it. Let's do our final score predictions of the day. I think it's going to be in a very this should be a 2-score affair where they win by the 49ers. Well, I want to see what you guys think. Drop your score predictions in the chat. Once you're done dropping your score predictions in the chat, smash that like button. That would be great. But some of the first score predictions that we're getting in here, 38-10, feels spicy. Would love to see some of that. Give me some of that. All right, let's see. 27-10. Sorry, I'm checking. I had to do a quick little peek at my fantasy. And Nick Chubb and Leonard Fournette are going absolutely crazy for me right now. You love to see it. Jeez. Let's see. 52-6. BA right. 52 blowout. 17-6. 31-10. 28-9. 23-10. 24-10. 27-7. Yak Boys in action. 31-10. 35-9. Oh, look at Coach. 3-score game. He is making it close. Oh, boy. 27-14. 35-9. 9-6. Panthers fan says Niners win 27-13. Bosa gets a few sacks. Yeah, Panthers fans aren't too confident right now. 41-17, 31-13. If I'm being a fan of the Panthers, 20-14. 17-6. 27-13. So it does feel like this is going to be a 49ers W. It's what it feels like. But that's why we play the game. That's why we play the game. That's why we watch the game. So if I had to give a score prediction, I do kind of feel like we're in 27-10 category. Feels like 27-10 category. Feels like Jeff Wilson will have a touchdown. I need a George Kittle touchdown. Maybe we'll get a Brandon Ayuk touchdown. Maybe a Debo touchdown as well. Spread it out. Defense. I mean, it feels dirty to say that the defense is going to give up 10 points to Baker Mayfield and the Panthers. It just feels dirty to say that. It might be like no, I'm going to do 27-9. I'm going to do 27-9, 3 field goals. No touchdown, 3 field goals. I don't see the Panthers scoring multiple. I don't see them scoring a touchdown, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. So my final score prediction is going to be 27-9, 3 field goals for the Panthers because the defense is that good. Maybe we get a defensive touchdown as well. So maybe one of those touchdowns is a defensive score. But we will see. We will see how it plays out. We're almost an hour away from game time. So get ready to go. You already know we'll be posting clips, highlights, tweets, all the good stuff. So make sure you're tapped in with us on all socials, all that good stuff. Appreciate everyone tapping in. And again, if you missed the Patrick Willis interview, it's on my YouTube page. So you can go back and you can watch it there. Great conversation with Patrick Willis about this defense and everything they bring to the table. Phenomenal day for football. A great day for a 49ers W. That's what it feels like. So again, thank you all to the SDS for tapping in, watching the streams, supporting the page as always. You guys are greatly appreciated. Make sure you smash that like button on your way out, and let's go get this 49ers W. Let's go. Gang, gang. We out. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to